Good afternoon and welcome, everyone. What a glorious day.
Glorious.
What a glorious day. And what's fabulous is we're all here in person. I'm just so excited that you all came and that we get to do this together and not on Zoom. Much as we all love Zoom, this is much better. So I'm Lori Ross. I'm the new co-chair of Women United, along with my colleague Jessica Bain-Hogan, who you're going to hear from in a few minutes. This is my first event as a co-chair of Women United. As you may know, I'm filling the very big shoes of Jane Lapointe, who has stepped up to be campaign chair for United Way KFL&A. So hooray for Jane. Where is she? Oh, she's in that fabulous red dress at the back. Hi, Jane. Jane and Jessica have taken Women United a long way, and I'm just thrilled to be part of continuing to move this group forward. First of all, I want to thank our hosts today, the Elizabeth Fry Society, who are sharing this wonderful space with us. Thanks to Catherine and her team. And we're going to hear more from them a little bit later, too. I want to mention that I was here last Friday as part of the United Way Day of Caring, and with some of my coworkers at Smith School of Business at Queen's. And we did some landscaping projects, but it's a small fraction of what this fabulous space looks like. They finished off what we had done in the interim, and it just looks so great. It's just serene and beautiful. And I think a shout out to all the work they did to make this place look so beautiful. Actually, this afternoon's event aligns well with Women United and the mandate of it, which is to bring together women like you who are interested in community projects and making the community better, and in particular, educating women about the vulnerable and marginalized folks in our society and how we might be able to help them. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about Elizabeth Fry, and we're also going to hear from the Sexual Assault Center in Kingston. So before I call on our land acknowledgement presentation, I just wanted to, just occurred to me that we're here the day after National Indigenous Peoples Day, and we have this beautiful backdrop of a teepee. So it feels appropriate to now be introducing our land acknowledgement from Fran Chesson. Fran, would you join us, please?
No, that's okay. Hi, Fran. I'm Kim from United Way, and I'd like to offer you this tobacco for land acknowledgement. Thank you so much.
This is a little too high. Anyway, Mick for coming. My name is Fran Vishnikaz. The land acknowledgement. First of all, respect and acknowledge the territorial lands you stand on today, and give thanks for the land you stand on today. So that's not just about our ancestors, but the ancestors before them. It all comes down to respect and respecting the land. Thank you, Mick.
Hello and welcome. Thank you to Fran for the land acknowledgement today. I would also like to take the opportunity to thank Panchancho for serving wonderful orders to everyone today as well. I would like to thank the sponsor of today's event, which is Roerbeck, Sowerby, and Thoreau LLP. And I believe we have one of the members here today. Christina, thank you. So thank you. And of course, thank you to all of you for making this initiative what it is and for continuing your support of Women United. And with that, I will turn it over to Pavna to introduce today's panel. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out today. My name is Pavna. I'm with the United Way, and it's a pleasure to be here today. Firstly, thank you as Women United. I'm not sure if you get a chance to read the newsletters we send you, but Women Leaders of the Way raise over $1.4 million. So a round of applause for all of you. Thank you. We all know women are powerful, dynamic, and we are the ones who are going to make change happen in this community. And there's no better example than some of the agencies you'll hear from today. So I'd like to start by just sharing a few things. So the United Way is really focused on equity, diversity, inclusion, and indigenization. And I'm sure you've read the recent report, and Nikki's here, you probably know the report by heart, but 50% of women who are incarcerated are Indigenous. So it's very, very important that we acknowledge that and see what we can do to help people in our community to reintegrate, to find the supports they need. We also in Kingston, and some of you have heard these stats before, we do have an alarming rate of women who are at risk. So we have one of the highest rates. Angie's here. She can probably give you better stats than I can, but we do have a really high rate of sexual assault before the age of 18 in Kingston and area. We also have really high rates of female homelessness, higher than the average across the country. Even average is not acceptable, but we are higher than the average. We have a lot of young girls who are not coming to school ready to learn. And again, that's an early warning sign for all of us that we need to do much better in the early years. So a lot of signs that lead up to the work that we need to do. And while we recognize that all genders need to be protected and looked after, and we have programs, it is really important for us as women to recognize that we do need to make a special effort around supporting women in our community who are the most vulnerable. So with us today, we have one of the things I have to say that I love about my job is that I get to work with amazing people like you, volunteers, staff. I also get to work with agencies who do incredible work every single day. So today we'll hear from, as Jessica has mentioned, we'll hear from Elizabeth Fry and we'll hear from the Sexual Assault Center of Kingston. At the end of the program, if you would like, you can walk around the teepee and we will have people from Elizabeth Fry to help you with some of the pillars that are around the teepee. But I'm going to start by introducing Catherine Laundrie, who is the Executive Director of Elizabeth Fry. Does an amazing work, and she's going to bring her colleague Jess, and Kessie. So, shall I hand over to you?
Hello. Thank you. We are honored to be able to host the Women United. Is this one on? Now it is. Honored to host this group today, and I'm so happy that the storm held off. Pavna was emailing me at like 10 o'clock last night about tents and what we could do to avoid getting rained on, but it all worked out perfectly, so that's great. So thank you so much for coming. I will tell you a little bit about our agency if you don't know anything. So we have these 3 buildings here on our property, and we work with marginalized and vulnerable women. Not just women in conflict with the law, which is somehow people perceive that that's the only thing that we do, but we don't. We work with all women in the Kingston community, self-identified women. So we have our community residential facility here, which was the first building we purchased on Charles Street, and that is for women on conditional release from provincial and federal institutions. And it's a 10-bed facility, and we have an amazing team that staff that building. And then this is our administration building, and it holds our offices and our mental health support worker, Jen, our program coordinator, bookkeeper, office manager, that kind of thing. And then that building where the food is the Women Empowered Hub. And that's a program that is funded by the United Way, which we are so grateful to have. And it was really sad to see that close down during the pandemic because the women really count on it in this community. We've just started reopening it again, and we've just hired Jen, who is just a firecracker. I can't say enough about her. And she's got that place just hopping. So she's also the Indigenous program coordinator as well. And we just got the teepee up in September, and we're trying to get more programming. And it's coming along, again, thanks to Jen. She's got things going, and Fran as well, who helps her out quite a bit with that. So I would like Jen to talk about a little bit about the programming in the WE Hub and the Indigenous program that we've had here lately, which has been quite significant. So there you go.
Yeah, so my name is Jen, and I have literally been here since May of last month. So for a month and a half. And I am the program coordinator for the WE Hub and the Indigenous program coordinator. So basically doing the monthly schedule, which has regular programming, Indigenous focused programming, and getting all that out to individuals that are interested in taking part in that. And then all the programming is free, the programming, the workshops, cooking. This morning, actually, you wouldn't even know it because the kitchen's spotless, but we made a big batch of spaghetti, like tomatoes, right from donated tomatoes, stewed tomatoes, everything. We cut everything up, cooked the pasta, made garlic bread, served it. All the women cooked, all the women helped clean. Like, you wouldn't know. It's really, really good. Yeah, I still smell garlic.
Smelled amazing.
Yeah, I still smell garlic. Yeah.
No,
so,
but I could smell it from my office and wandered over.
yeah. Everybody walking by could be like, well, what are you guys cooking in there? And I was like, go find out. Like, it's great. So since May, we've had 2 full moon ceremonies, co-facilitated with the Sexual Assault Center Kingston, which has actually taken place in our teepee here. And we continue to have the ceremony every month. It doesn't fall on the same day, but we continue to have that every month. And every Friday, we actually have the 2 feather drum circle, which is led by Fran, actually, where women can come sing and drum. And I have been privileged to actually stand and listen. And it is absolutely very beautiful and powerful. Like you do not need to be Indigenous to fully appreciate that. And I'm pleased to see that actually, not last week, but the Friday before, we actually had some women of other ethnicities and ages coming in because they heard about it and they wanted to give it a try, which is absolutely great. Like I've heard such positive things about that. 2 weeks ago, we were actually privileged to have the sacred fire burning just right over here for 4 days and 3 nights for the passing of grandmother Barbara Hooper, who was phenomenally instrumental as an elder to all women, especially involved with Prison for Women, if you're familiar with her. And yesterday, we actually just co-hosted a barbecue with SAC again for National Indigenous Peoples Day. So we had food, music, really good company, and a lot of women that I'd never met before had showed up as well. So it was really good to have like a sense of community that women are hearing about it now. And now that COVID is kind of hopefully taking a back burner, that women are coming out. And for our community kitchen this morning, we actually had some women that came like 2 years ago and had stopped coming during COVID. And we were actually really surprised to see them. So we hadn't heard from them at all. And all of a sudden they're showing back up, which is absolutely great. So future programming and workshops that we're hoping to offer. Fran actually has like a Cedar Sage workshop coming up at the end of next month, but also like healing and talking circles, medicine wheels, beading, creation of medicine bundles, sewing, storytelling, and teachings, along with recognizing and honoring specific dates. So September 30th, which is the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, which is actually the day that we had this teepee erected, and February Strawberry Ceremony to honor missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. And that's just the tip of it. Like we're always coming out. I have like a list of 25 different Indigenous things. So we're really excited to get that on the ball. And I actually just want to end with, when I first started here last month, I was like, holy smokes, like what have I gotten myself into? Like there's so much. And I'm still learning more about my job. And I actually sat like right here in front of the teepee just for like inspiration and focus and calmness of just be like, okay, like I'm here for the women. What can I do? Like, what can I do? And so it's definitely an amazing, powerful symbol. And we at eFry are really hoping to share that with the community and getting it out, word of mouth. Facebook, we have our Facebook page that I obscenely update all the time.
And you have to know she didn't have a Facebook page, so she's just figuring it out, and it's like exploded.
I had Facebook way back in the day when it was cool, and now it's like, it's like riding a bike. So it's like 5 or 6 posts, and I'll ask some of my coworkers and be like, "Is your wall getting just bombarded by Elizabeth Fry?" Like, I apologize, but I don't apologize. So we're really hoping to have more programming and workshops that we can help out with the community. So. Yeah,
that's
and
great.
If anybody's interested in leaving their email to get the, because I do send out every month, usually about the second to last day of the month for the next month's calendar, by all means, come see me. I can take your email and put you on my distribution list, and you'll just see just how packed it is, a little bit of everything. And like I said, all women, no cost, programming, workshops, cooking, and it's really good. We're friendly. Yeah. That's it.
I just had a couple of mentions. So as part of our community kitchen, we have for the last several years had a fabulous partnership with the Kingston Interfaith Women. Mm-hmm. They come and provide a lunch once a month for the community kitchen for the women. The food is amazing. It's one of the most popular kitchens ever, as you can imagine. Yeah. We had to close that down during the pandemic. But Janice, one of your Women United members, was able to adapt it so that she organized members of her group to drop food off here. We would package it up and we would have women pick it up, or we would take it and deliver it to them. So can't thank them enough. I mean, just got us through the pandemic.
Yep.
And Lori's group from Smith School of Business for the Day of Caring. Unbelievable. They built this accessible walkway for us. I don't know how they did it in 3 short hours. And they weeded and mulched all of the gardens. And along these 3 properties, there are many, many gardens. So they were just phenomenal. I can't thank them enough. And the United Way for hosting the Day of Caring. It's always my favorite day of the year. I like it more than Christmas because we just get so much. We get so much and everybody is so happy and there's no stress. So it's a wonderful day. So thank you to the United Way.
Yeah.
Now, thank you. Now, I would like to invite one of our clients, Kessie. She's standing in for the woman that was on your agenda who was unable to make it today. But Kessie is a client of ours. She resides in the community residential facility, and she's just going to share a little bit about her story and her adventures at E-Fry.
Hello. I don't normally need a microphone, so.
And this is Baby River.
So I'm Kessie, this is River, and the one thing I can say is if it wasn't for Elizabeth Fry, I wouldn't have River in my custody today. So that's a huge piece for me. But if I was to speak on behalf of all the other women, I would say if you were in the community, you would have to access many organizations to get the same kind of wraparound treatment that Elizabeth Fry offers here. Mental health support, life skills building support, reintegration pieces, the building blocks that we need, when we fall, and sometimes we do, to get back up on our feet. They told me I had 5 minutes, and I don't think that's enough time to tell you all the wonderful things that E-Fry does, but I'm going to give it a shot. Another thing I really love about E-Fry is their ability to address every woman case specific. It's not a blanket approach. My needs are different than the woman standing beside me, and they meet my needs, housing, they help me in every area. And that's one thing that, like I said, if I was in the community, I'd have to access a lot of different organizations to get all the in-house wraparound treatment that I get here. And it's just amazing. I love this place. And so I've been working with E-Fry. Okay, I'm a client. I've been working with E-Fry for 20 years. The last time I was here, I was able to maintain a change in lifestyle for 14 years. And my mother passed away and I fell. And they rescued me out of Lavelle. And here we are again. And, I'm so grateful. And the only way that I can repay them is to try and act as a role model for the other women and to advocate for E-Fry with you guys. And just to let you know that your funding is definitely helpful, and it's changing lives, and it's opening doors that wouldn't otherwise. Find me another halfway house you can have your baby in, Find me another halfway house with a green space like this. It's wonderful. And where it isn't a blanket approach. And I've been in a few halfway houses, and it's very much like a facility, whereas this is much more like a home in a community, So I love E-Fry Kingston. And so does River Jordan. And I don't know if I could say anything about E-Fry Kingston is I wouldn't be here, right? River wouldn't be here. And there's a lot of women who are here who wouldn't be clean and sober and building and restoring their families and their like we are, And I'm just grateful for everything you guys are doing to help E-Fry meet our needs. Is that good? Did I cover it?
I have the best job in the world. Thank you, Kessie, for sharing that. That's a very moving and powerful story, and you've heard firsthand how your donations make a difference right here in Kingston. So thank you very much for that. Very, very, very privileged that you shared your story. We work closely, and some of you have heard from Sexual Assault Center Kingston before. You, as Women United, lobbied to bring down the wait list from a few months down to 3 weeks, and you were successful. They have recently introduced a program. So Miriam Pandy, their executive director, came to me and said, we need to do something about women from different ethnicities and how are we helping them. So we have funded a new program, and Kim Graham from the Sexual Assault Center Kingston is here to tell you about that and any other programs you feel like sharing about.
So I can't ramble. That's what you're saying. Yes, thank you so much, Pavna, for having me here today. Miriam couldn't be here today. She's in Toronto. But we are fortunate enough to have received funding from the United Way for a variety of different things over the years, as was mentioned You were instrumental in bringing our wait list down, and we've been able to continue with some funding from United Way to really reduce our wait list, which is amazing. So we really work, when a survivor comes to us at our center, we want to make sure that they can get appropriate services in a timely manner. It takes a lot to come forward as a victim of sexual assault. And sometimes people have, gone through their whole lives and then finally have a moment where they reach out for services. So we recognize that it's really important. And we've been able to support those folks coming forward in a really, I guess, timely manner, thanks to, the help from the United Way. Recently, within the last year, we sort of sat around as a group and was like, who are we missing? Who are the clients that we serve and who are we missing? And we really realized that a lot of our clients that we're missing are racialized, newcomer, refugee folks from Kingston. Kingston's racialized community, newcomer community has really grown in the last probably, I would say, 6 or 7 years in particular. And we really recognized that we needed to access and remove those barriers for those folks from coming to our center. So with the help of the United Way and with some groundwork at the center and some, gutso and just like we have to get it done with money or no money, we decided we're going to support these survivors. So we have been really good and fortunate and able to have a diverse communities counselor who comes from a background of lived experiences as an immigrant, as a racialized woman, who can work with folks from diverse communities who are coming to the center. Often from, if I think of some of our refugee clients who have come from, war-torn countries, have experienced sexual violence as a means of war, she is able to work with them within, their own lived experiences and really understand the dynamics that comes, or they come with. We're also really fortunate, as part of our Diversities Communities program, to have an outreach coordinator. The outreach coordinator has done a lot of work within the Diverse Communities program. So they have gone to ISCA, Keys, our mosque, various different agencies in town to really reach that population and support those clients from coming forward. We developed a 3-part workshop, Sowing Seeds of Empowerment, and we launched it last year. So we run it 2 times now, and we're hopeful to run it again in the fall. As you know, everyone goes on vacation in the summer, so it's hard to run programming in the summer. But we're hoping again to relaunch it in the fall. And that has been really positive feedback. We've worked with a lot of youth, in particular newcomer youth, who are entering, who have entered Canada. It's a different lifestyle and culture with Canadian high schools and trying to navigate relationships and also home life as well. So that program has really worked well in talking about healthy relationships with our newcomer youth as well. Another youth program, don't want to forget about it, is that United Way also funds our rapid access program for our youth. So any high school aged youth who presents and needs an intake and support can get services generally, I would say, within 48 hours. So we're able to go to the high schools and we're able to provide services right there in the high school. So, students don't have to leave, they don't have to trek across town, they don't have to interrupt their school day. So that's been a really positive experience as well. Back to the Diverse Communities program. Sorry, I went off a tangent there. We are excited for some more programming coming up in the fall. So we'll be doing some more programming in particular with Immigration Services and as well with Keys and doing some workshops with some of the newcomer communities and the settlement workers there. We've done a lot of background work and research, and we recognized that the oppression and the barriers that folks face when accessing services, and we're really trying to remove those. So with the help of United Way, we've been able to provide some of that programming, as well as the counselor as well, who can provide that support for our survivors. Yeah, thanks.
So you've heard about a couple of our programs. Last year we funded 127 programs, and we'd love for you to hear all about every single one of them. So we'll bring them one by one, but we also have Mandy's here from our marketing and communications. We have a lot of videos up. We have a lot of stories, but anytime you want a tour or want to know more about a program, we'd love to help you. I'm going to open it up for questions, and then we'll wrap up and you can get a chance to see the Wee Hub and the TP. So any questions? I know Heather promised to give Catherine a hard time, so feel free to ask questions. She's not going to. Any questions? Anything you'd like to know more about? Alicia. Division and Elliott. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, so I'll hand it back to Jessica, I think.
Well, I feel spoiled because I get the easy job of thanking everyone. So again, I have to extend a big thank you to all of you for coming. And of course, to Cassie for sharing her story today. It was not only enlightening about the importance of this facility and the services that are offered, it was also a testament to her bravery and courageousness. So thank you so much. Delighted to see you have your daughter here with you today. That's wonderful. And to all of our agencies for their tireless effort and support to our community. And we look forward to seeing everyone again in September at the next one. Please feel free to take a look at the TP behind me today and all of the posts. There will be some staff members to help explain. And enjoy. That's it.